Brothers. Joseph had run away. Philip could tell his mother was worried by the way she paced up and down the kitchen floor, twisting her hair into knots while speaking softly into the telephone. "I don't know where he went," she whispered. She shot Philip a sidelong look that seemed to say, "Don't worry," then smiled as if this was just normal, routine phone call. "No, we didn't get into a fight. There wasn't." She left the kitchen, glancing quickly at the clock. Philip was going to be late to school. Philip pushed his cereal around the bowl with a spoon. Joseph hated living at home. "I'm an old soul," he would sing to their mother whenever she asked him to clean the dishes or put his laundry away. "I can't be tethered," he'd sing until their mother would laugh. "Joseph," she'd say, exasperated. Joseph was nearly 6 years older than Philip and was what his mother called a troublemaker. Philip had a loose understanding of what it meant to be a troublemaker. It was someone who stayed out past curfew, lied, ran away, and hung out with a bad crowd. Philip had met his crowd, and he didn't think they were bad at all. In fact, he liked Joseph's friends. Whenever they saw him, they shook his hand like he was a grown man and not somebody's kid brother. Last summer, Philip broke his arm playing baseball. That wasn't exactly true, when Philip came to think of it, but it was what he had told Joseph's friends when they saw the cast on his arm. They had given him the nickname Captain after that, and Laura, Joseph's girlfriend, always asked him, "Have you been drafted yet?" Philip hadn't wanted to play baseball at all that summer. He wanted to join the swim team, but his father said swimming wasn't a sport. Philip knew better than to argue with his dad, so he agreed. He hadn't realized that his baseball coach had stuck him in the outfield because he was a bad player, and that the coach didn't expect anyone to hit the ball that far into the field. After dinner one night, Philip heard his dad explain to his mother, "Philip's the worst player on the team. They put him in the outfield so he doesn't mess it up for the rest of the team," he'd said. He didn't know Philip could hear. Joseph, who was sitting next to Philip, had nudged him and then squeezed his shoulders. "Don't sweat it, kid," he said. "There's always something better out there." Philip had broken his arm the day a fly ball, the only one of the game, soared into the sky right above his head. Philip hadn't been paying attention to the game, but suddenly he heard everyone calling his name. He saw the small black dot blot out the sun, and he raised his left hand high into the air and shut his eyes. He felt the ball land heavily in his glove. He was surprised by the weight of it, and his hand was sore. He ran back towards the mound, proud for the first time all season that he had helped his team. He wasn't looking where he was going and didn't notice the small rock hidden in the green of the outfield under his foot as it caught against it. Suddenly he was soaring into the air, and then, just as quickly, he came crashing down, his arm outstretched, snapping as it hit the ground. He had cried, knowing that his father would be disappointed and that he wouldn't be able to swim again until next summer. Joseph had taken him for ice cream. "You know, there's a lot more to life than baseball," Joseph had said. "Take me. I wasn't meant for some crummy 2-star town." Philip had smiled, agreeing. He wasn't sure what Joseph meant by 2-star, but he knew that Joseph wanted to live. He knew Joseph wanted life to move fast and hard. "Someday I'm going to wipe the stain of this town from my boots and really make it. You know, see the world, get famous, make money, and I'm going to do it my way." Philip sat quietly. "You'll say goodbye before you go, right?" he asked. Joseph laughed. "You really are something, you know that?" When Philip thought about it, he realized that Joseph had never really answered him. They'd left the ice cream store and walked home, and Joseph had never mentioned leaving again. By now, Philip's cereal had gone soft. It was inedible. His mother was organizing the cabinets. "You know your brother's really done it this time," she said. She ran her fingers through her hair, sighing deeply. "I'm an old soul," Philip sang. "I can't be tethered." His mother smiled, and she looked at the clock.